This lecture will be opened by our dean. Would you mind to wait until our dean join this lecture?
Sorry, can you please say it again?
I'm very sorry. Banget. Ya juga sih. I'm sorry. I think my connection is not very good too. Mas
Sorry
ada.
about that.
Actually, I'm in campus now. Okay, so I will try the schedule connection. Pakai setting-setting nggak ini? Kemudian udah bagus. Saya 2 tambah 5. Sudah lebih bagus Bu suaranya. Sudah masih agak lumayan. Okay, so welcome Dr. Professor Samadhi, Dean of Faculty of Agriculture. Thank you very much for joining today to open this lecture. And thank you for Dr. Widiatmani Sidewi, the head of Master Program of Soil Science Department, Faculty of Agriculture, 11 Maret University, and of course, especially to Dr. Manhai from Central Division of Water Resources Planning and Investigation, Vietnam. So, because it's already 10 o'clock, past 10, I think we would like to start this lecture today. I will become the MC and also the moderator at once. So I would like I would like also to thank you all the participants today, to our students. They are still
Sudah direkam ya, Pak ya?
Apa namanya? Ada kayak feedback gitu ya. Nggak apa-apa ya. Nggak apa-apa, kita mulai. Oke. Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, selamat pagi pada semuanya. Good morning to everyone who joined this guest lecture. Thank you very much for the Master Program of Science, Faculty of Agriculture, 11 Maret University. Before we start this guest lecture, let's pray to God. May Let's pray to God. May this lecture will run smoothly. And now we would like to start this guest lecture. And for the first, we are inviting the head of Master Program of Soil Science, Dr. Widiatmani Sidewi. Dr. Dewi, the time is yours. Please deliver your opening speech. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Komaria. Good morning, everyone. Let me using on English and Indonesia because almost of the participants come from Indonesia, so
That's fair. That's fair.
okay.
That's absolutely fair.
Yeah, let's me.
I'm not good in English also.
Oke, oke. Bapak Dekan Fakultas Pertanian UNS, Profesor Dr. Samanhudi SP MSI IPM Asian Engineering yang saya hormati, Bapak Ibu peserta dan adik-adik mahasiswa yang hadir pada acara quiz lecture, selamat pagi, good morning, dan salam sehat sejahtera untuk kita semua. Puji syukur pagi ini kita dipertemukan secara virtual dalam kegiatan kuliah pakar dengan dosen tamu dari Vietnam, Dr. Hu Man Hai, yang akan sharing pengalaman dan sharing expertise-nya dengan tema Water Resources Management in Practices. Pertama-tama kami haturkan terima kasih untuk kehadiran adik-adik dan juga Bapak Ibu semua di dalam pertemuan kita pagi ini. Kenapa kita mengambil tema tentang water management resources in practice? Seperti kita ketahui bersama bahwa air itu merupakan sumber daya alam yang diperlukan oleh semua makhluk hidup tanpa kecuali di muka bumi ini. Ketersediaan air menjadi permasalahan global yang disebabkan oleh banyak faktor, di antaranya banjir pada musim penghujan, kekeringan pada musim kemarau, kelangkaan ketersediaan air di beberapa tempat, keterbatasan ketersediaan air bersih, dan lain-lain. Oleh karena itu, pengelolaan air yang secara bijaksana itu sangat diperlukan. Bapak Dekan yang saya hormati, setelah saya nanti menyapa beliau, Dr. Hai, mohon berkenan Bapak untuk memberikan sambutan dan sekaligus membuka kuliah pakar kami pagi ini. Perkenankan terlebih dahulu saya menyapa beliau. Good morning, Dr. Fu Man Hai.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, it is so great this morning to meet Dr. Hai, even if only virtually. On behalf of the Master of Soil Science Program, Agriculture Faculty of Plasmar University, we thank for you that Dr. Hai accept our acceptance to share about your expertise and also your experience, yes, in water resources management. We hope that in the future we can develop a collaborate not only in the quiz lecture but also in research together. Okay, we need to inform you that this event and also attended by not only student but also lecturer, not only from UNS only, but also our friend and for other island in Indonesia. Okay, I hope you enjoy and your lecturer.
Sure.
And once again, we say thank you for your kindness. Terima kasih, Pak Dekan. Mohon berkenan untuk nanti membuka acara kegiatan ini dan memberikan sambutan. Terima kasih. Waktu saya kembalikan ke Bu Kokom.
Thank you very much, Dr. Our program Master Program of Soil Science. Okay. Welcome speech. Our Professor Dr. Samanhudi, which now we would like to invite you to open this lecture. Professor, selamat menuju the first.
Terima kasih Bu Bapak. Mohon maaf suaranya putus-putus. Terima kasih Bu Dewi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Dear Head of Master Program of Soil Science Department, Faculty of Agriculture. 11 Maret, Dr. Widyatmani Dewi. The Honorable Speaker of today, guest lecturer, Dr. Fuman Hai from Central Division of Water Resources, Planning and Investigation. Good morning, Dr. Hai. Dear all the participants of this guest lecture, our student from 11 Maret University.
Yeah.
And we also invited our colleges from Lambung University and Tanjung Pura University, also from another universities. We cannot mention one by one. Thank you for the head of master degree of Soil Science Department, Dr. Widyatmani Dewi, who organized this guest lecture. And of course, we are very grateful to Dr. Fu Manhai for accepting our request to deliver the guest lecture to our student today.
Okay.
The topic of today's lecture about water resources management in practices is very important regarding the fact that water resources is decreasing day by day, especially under the climate change. We are curious about the water availability for future generation. Therefore, we need to understand how to manage our water resources so it will meet the demand of our grandchildren in the future. Also, our university, 11 Maret University, is one of the outstanding university in Indonesia, and we are keeps on reaching our status as a world-class university. Therefore, this international guest lecture is very important to support the goal. So today, Dr. Hai will share his experience on the practices in water management resources. And I hope our student knowledge on water management will be improved by this lecture. Dr. Hai, we appreciate your acceptance. Thank you very much. Please enjoy this lecture.
Yeah,
And
sure, I will.
to all the students, please use this precious chance to discuss with Dr. Hai. Find out everything about water management practices as much as you can. Finally, I would like to say please have a nice lecture, and I hope we will have more collaboration with Dr. Hai, not only in collaborative lectures, but also in research and collaborative publication. To fulfill the request from the organizer, I would like to officially open the guest lecture today by Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you and enjoy this lecture. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Asian Engineering for the opening. Okay, Dr. Hai,
Yeah.
Dean and Dr. Dewi, I think it's now for us to listen to Dr. Hai general lecture, guest lecture. So Dr. Hai, this is time for you to deliver your lecture, and after that we will have discussion with our students. I would like to remind to all the participants to fill the form of your presence today. Jangan lupa untuk mengisi daftar hadir yang tertera pada ruang chat room. Okay, I think that's the opening session for this lecture. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Samanhudi, Aldin, Dr. Dewi. Okay, Dr. Hai, please direct the lecture now. Thank you. Please enjoy this lecture.
Okay, first of all, I would like to say thank you for Komaria for introducing me, and also thank for Professor Samahudi. I hope that I spelled your name correctly. For
Yes,
very
correct.
official staff. And just a little bit information about myself. My name is Vu Mang Hai, and it make it easy for you to remember me. Just call me Hai. It's very easy for you to pronounce my name. Just call me Hai. I got my PhD just a couple of months ago. It's very new, but however, I have been working in the field of water resources for nearly 20 years. So today I do really hope that I can give you some of my very little experience in the fields of water resources management. Before we start, I would like to make clearly about some very minor point, but I think it's very important for us to enjoy the lecture and to make the lecture today it's more useful for you guys. I consider it's not a lecture. I prefer more discussion than just giving a speech. And what I mean is that balance to talk with each other. And also, I understand that this my English is not really good. So just feel free to interrupt me when for everything that is not clear, I can provide you some more clarification. I'm not familiar with the Zoom meeting also, so I don't know how I can show you my PowerPoint slides at the same time that when I giving the talk. So let me try. I think I just start open my slide in my laptop, and just let me know if you can see my slides. So I start presenting now, and I do really hope that you can see that.
Not yet.
No, yes. So
Yeah, please share screen.
Can you show me a bit more about that? I don't know how to present you my.
Share screen, please. Share screen. Share screen.
Where the remote share screen? I couldn't see that. Here. Okay.
It's below. Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. I think. Okay. It looks good now.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Okay. We can see.
Yeah. Hope you can see that now.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So my topic today is about water resources management in practice, because as I say in the beginning that I'm not a lecturer, and I do more research than giving a speech in front of people. But however, I will try my best today to explain you something that I think is very important in water resources management. So let's see what we have today for the lecture. I will give you some background about water resources management, and more important, I will try to bring you some example and issue in Vietnam so we can share together. And the other way, on the way, I do really hope that I can learn also something from Indonesia from you guys. And at the end of my lecture, I will try to provide you some tool or program that we can use in the term of water resources management. So let's start with some very short background about the water resources management. We start with the question is what is the integrated water resources management? And unfortunately that we don't have the correct answer yet. There is no exact definition about what is integrated water resources management. However, we will try to spend a couple of minutes to form by ourselves what is water resources management. I would like to start by bring you, sorry, how can, start with the picture about the water cycle. I think that is many of you guys has already seen this picture. It talk about the global water cycle, and you can see here it's normally the water from the ocean will evaporate to the atmosphere, and it will produce some cloud, and then the cloud can move into the continent, and it may cause to some precipitation. The precipitation will come into our earth, and then it will produce surface runoff. It's normally for surface runoff, and it will produce surface waters in our system, and it also infiltrate to the ground to produce groundwater, and then its own surface water and groundwater will later on go to the sea. That is very simple about the water cycle. And this is a very, very important in terms of water resources occurrences. There is estimation that is there's about 1,000 square cubic kilometers water transport every year from one occurrence to become the other. So it's very huge amount of water resources. Here is some very beautiful quote about the integrated water resources management. So that is further on, we think that it's a different use of water resources are independent. Every sector have their own interest, have their own demand, and have their own practice. But for the integrated water resources management, we try to bring all the different use of waters together. That is the idea of integrated water resources management. We try to bring all people together. We try to bring all the water resources together. And to sort, we can say that it's integrated water resources management. That is, we looking the water system as a whole. We don't look at in any individual sector or any individual resources. We consider the water resources as only one system, and everything must be involved in terms of integrated water resources management. For sure that I don't think we can do something with precipitation or evaporation, because it's very, very hard to control. We cannot change the way that it's precipitate, or we cannot change the way that the water is evaporated from the sea. It's very hard. But what we try to do is we try to manage that is water transport on the Earth's surface, that we try to do with the surface water and groundwater on our Earth. It's I think it's something that we can do. So we will go to answer why it's to think or to do its integrated water resources management. There is a couple of things that we can consider. The first of all, I would say, is the water resources are interconnected. We cannot say that we do something with groundwater, it will not cause any effect to surface water, and on the other way that when we do something with surface water, for sure it will cause some influence to the groundwater. That is the thing I would like to mention first. On the picture of on the left side of the top row, I show you very simple about in the way that its groundwater and surface water are working together, are interacted with each other. And you can see here, for example, when you pump out water from the well, it will cause to some drawdown. In order to bring water into the well, it must produce a gradient for water to flow into the well that we can pump out. And because of that, it will cause to some flow from surface water into groundwater system. And if also on the other way around, if we do something with surface water, we will have something, some contribution or some cost. We also have the interaction between upstream and downstream, where we may have more water in upstream compared to the downstream. And for example, if you consume more water from upstream, we will cause to some drought in the downstream, that the people in the downstream, we don't have enough water for their need. So that's a way of the interaction between the upstream and downstream, the relation between the people living in upstream and people living in downstream. And also we have seasonal fluctuation of rainfall, where in the rainfall, particularly in tropical climate, normally we have a lot of water in the rainy season compared to the dry season. And then in the rainy season, what we normally have is a flooding. But to a dry season, we normally got some severe drought. Also, some problems that we normally face. So now I will bring you something relating to the water resources in Vietnam. Further, I would like to show you about some of situation that we have for Vietnam in regard to water resources. I think it's similar to Indonesia, that we have a lot of people living in our country, in the very limited area of our country. And looking at the map of our country, we have a lot of area that belong to the mountainous area, that people, it's very, very hard to live in that area. Normally we have some very small plant connected to the sea, that the people is mostly living in that area. We have a very big plain in the north that is called it's Red River Delta, and we also have another big plain in the south is called is Mekong River Delta. And in our countries, agriculture is very, very important. It can produce, it's more than a half of our income for the whole country. And then that is really mean that we have a very huge demand of water for irrigations. And also because of the tropical climate, as I said before, that we have a very different in terms of rainfall between dry season and rainy season. And because of the topographic condition, normally we have very short and steep channels of surface water. And then that is the surface water is very quickly run through and go to the sea, that we cannot exploit it very much. That's also the problem. And the other problem that we really face, that is that non-coastal line, and the valley is normally collect to the sea, and then it caught many problem in terms of seawater intrusion into our water system. The one another big problem that we are normally downstream area of the river, so we normally be influenced by the people living in upstream area. So we have a two big delta here, is called Red River Delta and Mekong River Delta, and both of them are it's the downstream area of the river, and we influence a lot. We are influenced a lot from the upstream area. It's from China, from Laos and Cambodia. So in terms of the water resources management, previously I think we have in our project of management issue. So normally more focus on the economy rather than water resources and environment. I think that it maybe it not only happen in Vietnam but also happen in some area. It normally for the Asian country like Vietnam, Indonesia. I hope that it will be so in very near future. And normally because of it kind of very known knowledge, people, especially for people living in remote area. So normally they have it kind of we call it's not local or informal rule. It may be it normally it more important and more the people more care about the local and informal rules rather than official practice. So that is also bringing some problem with our country. um, in terms of the water consumer water usage, we have a couple of the sector that is consume or use waters. So for as I said before, that we have a very incentive agriculture, and we have many very much demand on water resources for irrigation. We also have a lot of people, and it bring very high demand on water for drinking and washing for domestic use. The industry is also another sector of water consumer and water use, and also energy production, especially for the hydropower dam. It have many. We have normally have many power dam in our country right now, and it also bring in some is very much problem with our water resources management issue. We also have navigation and tourism and ecosystem. Some of this sector is using water, and some of the water just consume the water. Just a couple of picture in this slide showing you about the different sectors that share the water resources in our country now, and I think it maybe it's similar to Uruguay, Indonesia. So what is problem that we currently faced in Vietnam right now in terms of water resources management? I think the first we have over exploitation because of very huge demand on water resources for agriculture, for domestic use, and for others demand as well. So we normally have over exploitation, particularly for some areas that many people are currently living in. And because of the sometime because of the groundwater extraction, it also got to it called its name subsidence in some for the big city. And because of many areas it's collected to the sea, so we have a seawater intrusion that is also a very big problem in our country, in my country right now. And also some severe drought, and it may bring into the food security problem because we don't have enough water for agriculture, and then we cannot produce some food for people in my country. A couple of picture here showing you about the map of land subsidence caused by groundwater exploitation in a southern part of our of my country. It very uh, big problem in the southern part of our country. It's called is Mekong Delta River, and we also have a seawater intrusion. That map showing you here. It's more than a half of Mekong Delta has been caused by seawater intrusion, and the people don't have enough fresh water for their need. So I would like to hopefully spend a couple of minutes to hear from you guys about something. It's about the issue of water resources management in Indonesia. I would like you maybe to spend a couple of minutes for the group discussion. I thought that we have a kind of class, so I decided to ask you to discuss a group of three, but I think now it's kind of Zoom meeting, so I don't think we have chance to discuss in groups. So maybe some of you guys can very quickly provide me some information about the water resources management issue in Indonesia. Maybe just a very short idea that it come to your mind, and then we can move on to another the part of my lecture. I because as I said before, it kind of two-way discussion, so I would like to hear maybe very short idea from you guys about the water resources management in Indonesia, maybe compared to what I have said in that we have in Vietnam. So maybe you can think it's what is the similarity and the difference between the Vietnam and Indonesia. Maybe it's just a couple of minutes. Is that okay for you?
Yes, Dr. Hai. So maybe I think we would like to invite some of our colleagues, which is also have a similar maybe expertise here. Let's, if you don't mind, Dr. I'm sorry, Mr. Amatusi, are you here with us now? Sorry, Dr. Mr. Ahmad Tusi. Ahmad Tusi, are you listening? Oh, I'm very sorry.
Maybe I would suggest that we can skip this one and we can come back to this one later on at the end of
Okay.
my lecture.
Okay.
We can have more discussion. I very prefer about discussion than giving a speech, but maybe we can leave it at the end of my lecture. Is that okay for you?
Okay. Okay. But if you don't mind, maybe I would like to say that actually the problems is nearly similar with Indonesia and Vietnam. That we are now facing the water resources issues also, and some big city, big cities like the capital and other big cities are facing the subsidence also, and the integration to the sea, from the ocean water also. So I think the problems between Indonesia and Vietnam is, almost same. Jadi getting water maintenance. Okay, so you can continue. Sorry, my connection is poor. Please continue.
So I will continue with my talk, and then we can come back to this discussion at the end of my lecture. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Is that okay for you guys?
Yes, Dr. Hai. Please continue.
Okay, thank you. So here I would like to share that some solution for better water resources management in Vietnam from different sector. Further on, we will now cut from the top down. That we start with our government, what my government have been done. Further on, we try to adapt our law and regulations in regard to the water resources. We recently have law in water resources that we try to remind the people that is to bring more focus on the water resources management and also environmental issue rather than only focus on developing the economy. that we try to balance between economy and environment. And we also have planning scheme that it try to bring better procedure in terms of water resources planning. Let me say that previously we can do the project on water resource planning individual. I mean that we have only the project for water planning in every small area, but now it's the Vietnamese government has changed the rule for water resources planning, that we have to include the water resources planning in the whole pictures of the area, that we have bring on the thing together in terms in order to do the water resources planning. We have to think about the economy, we have to think about the social issue, we have to think about everything when we do the water resources planning for area. And now we also don't have a right to do the water resources planning project in the small area. We have to do it for the whole catchment or for the whole province. That is also is something change about our law and regulation. And now the government is also try to more focus on the water licensing and fee, that every people have to normally have to pay for the water consumption, their water consumption, that it can reduce the amount of water consumed by every people. And from the technical application, we try to bring in some applications that can save our water resources. We try to do some kind of saving water technique, particularly for the agriculture. We do some research on how we can save the water for irrigation. Now it kind of some of saving irrigation technique like sprinkler or drop irrigation, that is also already applied to some area of my country. And we also try to do some kind is called is artificial recharge, normally to groundwater. We try to bring more infiltration to groundwater that we can save for maybe in the, and as I said before, that we normally have too much water on the rainy season, and then we try to bring more the rain water into the ground, and we store in the ground at a big reservoir for using in the dry season. And we also do water resources planning. Before you can do something with water resources, before you can extract the water resources, you have to do the planning in our country. You have to make a plan for how you can use water resources, and then that plan had to be bring into the community to make sure that it's a zero action in water resources extraction will not cause too much problem to the other community or the other people living in that community. And the problem, as I said before, is that we normally downstream area of very some big river, like it's Red River on the north and the Mekong River in the south. So we try to do some more. It's an international cooperation. We try to discuss more with the country from upstream side, that how we can use water resources in the river in the sustainable way, that every people can be benefit can balance the benefit from the river. We have here it's very big organization that we call is Mekong River Committee, that involve people from 5 countries, I think 5 countries, including Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Myanmar, and Vietnam. Unfortunately, that it's China, it's a very big city in the upstream area, has not involved in that committee yet. So in order to talk more with another country, when like China, they don't have that are involved in the Mekong River Committee, we try to provide some kind of a partnership dialogue. We try to talk more, maybe in 2 or 3 countries. Like we have dialogue about water sharing the water resources for Red River Delta between Vietnam and China, and we talk more about with Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, and maybe sometimes China for how to use the water resources in Mekong River is more efficient. So that is something about it's very very general, but I hope that it just kind of provide you some idea about how the Vietnam try to do better for water resources management. That if it's something is not clear yet, I think we can discuss more about it later at the end of my lecture. I am very happy to discuss with you about these terms that I already present here. It very much about the solution for Vietnam in terms of better to bring in the better water resources management. Maybe you can provide some more idea that the Vietnam people can do better for our water resources. Now, just let me bring you some tool that it can support you in terms of water resources management, because it's normally it's our water resources, it's very very big and it involves so many things that we have to have some good tool in order to see how the whole pictures of our water resources. There are several tools that we can use that I'm a little bit familiar with. Here, I just list here a couple of tools that we can use for the supporting the water resources management. I also talk about the photo. I will talk to you about the tool by tool in individual, and then I will provide you some idea about some tools that can be coupled with each other in order to bring more useful way we use the tool. So we have a couple of tools here. And it's a photo I will talk to you about a little bit about Westpath. It's normally for simulating the recharge for groundwater. And last thing is we call it SWAT. It's a soil and water assessment tool. I think maybe many of you guys already familiar with SWAT. SWAT is very, very famous one for water resources management. And we also have a mode flow. It deal more with groundwater than surface water. And we have a WIP. It's a water evaluation and planning. And beside that, we also have a couple of approach we can use or we can develop by ourselves for making the tool that we can use in terms of water resources. So I will try to spend several minutes to go through this tool, and then I will talk to you how we can couple some tool together in order to make it more clearly and it's more useful for to you. First of all, I will talk to you about the Westpath. As I mentioned before, the purpose of Westpath program is basically for simulating the recharge or infiltration from the top to the groundwater. And the way the Westpath is the water balance equation here, that we can have a different tool to calculate. We can measure how much water we have from precipitation. We know how much water it will generate the surface runoff from the precipitation, how much water will generate the surface runoff, how much water will evaporate back to the atmosphere. And then we consider it that the recharge for groundwater is the ratio of this equation. I mean the water after generating the surface runoff and evaporation, it will For the west part, what we need is the input is we need the information about how much precipitation we have for that area. We also need what is a potential evapotranspiration precipitation for this area, and then it can help you to calculate how much is water going evaporate back to the atmosphere. We also need NANU survey to and the topography to see how much water from the precipitation will become the surface runoff, because we have a different topography, different wind have a different ability to provide the surface runoff to the surface water. And then we also need it's a soil map for the area in order to see how much water will infiltrate to the groundwater. And for the output, we will have the map of the recharge for the area that we use for the model. So the picture at the bottom here is showing you about the idea about how the west part will use in order to simulate the recharge for the groundwater. We know how much it's from the rainfall it's bring into the system, and then we know how much it will generate the surface runoff, how much water will evaporate back to the atmosphere, and then the groundwater recharge here, it will be the left amount of the precipitation after generating the surface runoff and the evapotranspiration. Yeah, that is very simple one, but in order to use this program, what you need is about GIS based application, because it's all of this one will do it's kind of spatial distribute software that we make for the area, and it will divide the area into different cell, and every small cell they will have they will use this equation to calculate. And then what we need is we need a lot of skill in the GIS. Normally we use ArcGIS that we can produce kind of raster data that we can use for the west part. Sorry. So the next one is we call is a squad. I think squad is very famous for people working in the field of water resources management. So basically, the SWAT is for river discharge simulation, and it also have a tool for simulating the pollution node. It's very important for the area that we do the agriculture, where we have a lot of pollution issue from using pesticide and fertilizers for the area, and then Westpac become it's very useful one. Again, it's a squad is also spatial distributed model, and it divided the whole area into different small area that we call as a hydraulic response units. And in every hydraulic response unit, we have a typical input parameter for the area. I mean, it will be just in one hydraulic response unit, we have a set of parameter for that area, and then moving to another hydraulic response unit, we will have another set of parameter. That's the way that is SWAT do. And for the required input for SWAT, what we need is we also need the amount of precipitation for the area. We also need is potential evapotranspiration. We also need NANUs and topography. So the picture here is showing you how the west part works. So from the input data here, what we need is we need DEM that can help you to see what is the topographic condition for the area. We also need hydrography, it's kind of river and stream network. We need the NANU, we need it's some kind of data. We need where the station where we can have amount of precipitation and evapotranspiration. And from the input data, it will divide the whole area into different hydraulic response units that the west part will be used. And then we also have SWOT database that it can pick up the value for different hydraulic response unit, and then the SWOT will done the simulation, and then it will provide you some map. It's normally to show you how you can have the discharge in different stream, different river. That is a very basic thing about the SWOT. There are several applications that we can use with SPAT simulation. I shall pick up the table from last month, and on here is in 2007. To see how we can have a different application with SWOT simulation. Normally, it basically it used for simulate the river discharge variation throughout the time. So we can apply different. Can have a different application when we're using SWOT. For example, here we can see how much climate change will impact our water resources system. Because of the climate change, we will have a different input for rainfall. We will have a different input for evapotranspiration, and by using the SWOT, we can see how the climate change will impact our water system. And the several application here that we can use with SWOT. I don't think that I can explain you very much in detail, but just providing some idea about what should be the possible application with SWOT simulation. The next one is about the mode flow. Mode flow is very much about groundwater flow simulation. So it knows it uses the groundwater balance equation. It's quite difficult to explain you here, but just trying you is the Gaussian equation of the mode flow. And the approach that mode flow is that it called it finite difference model, so that it divided the whole area into the different cell, and they use the groundwater balance equation here to work for every cell. The main idea here is that the groundwater system from every single cell will be divided by the nearby cell. So in the picture, the cell in the central will be improved by 6 nearby cell. That is the way that mode flow is. In terms of required input for the mode flow, what we have if we need to understand about the geologies of this area, that we can divide it into different layers with different parameter. We also need the thing is called its boundary condition, like where is river, where is the water divided now that we have no flow in that area. And we also have to know how much groundwater recharged from the top, and then it will help you to simulate what is the water level and what is the availability for every single cell. And the application of the mode flow is normally we use to examine the response of groundwater system to its boundary condition. I mean, if we have something in the river, we have something on the top from the recharge, we will know how our groundwater system will respond to that boundary condition. That's the thing that we can do with the mode flow. Again, it's very much about the groundwater system rather than surface water system. That is basically only for groundwater flow system, and also with kind of solute transport in the groundwater system only. The next one is about WIP. Is called is water evaluation and planning. The WIP is a very simple one, but that can be very good for water system allocation planning. That you know how much basically you know how much water you have in a river, how much water you have in groundwater system, how much water you need for irrigation in particular site, how much water you need for the domestic and so on. And then you can see how you can use the different water resources for providing the demand for different sector. What can be the good plan that whether you should take the water from the river, from the reservoir, from or maybe from the groundwater. That is very basic about how we can allocate the water system for different demand in the area. And in the last couple of minutes, I have talked to you about very basic idea about the different tools that we can use in terms of supporting water resources management. With the development of IT, now the people is thinking more about the coupling more than one program together. We previously normally people run chat only one single tool, but now it's more and more coupling of more than one program together that can bring in more precise for the simulation, more exact for the simulation. The form I would like to say about the SWOT and mode flow coupling here. The way that it is that in SWOT we also have the model is called is deep groundwater, but flow is another software that can to simulate more exactly about the groundwater system. And then now people try to coupling the SWOT and mode flow together. And I would like to take a very beautiful quote. Sorry, I will explain you a little bit about how the SWOT and mode flow will couple with each other. And then as you can see here is different flow component will be taken care by different single software. For example, if we want to simulate the net recharge here to groundwater, how much rainfall, how much evaporation, so SWOT will take care about normally the surface processes. And then when it moved down to the groundwater system, it can take care by mode flow. And then they are sharing the data, the output and the input together. And then two of them will help you to simulate more exactly about the area. As a beautiful quote from Neil in 2019 here, he said that the SWOT and mode flow model primordialistic results on groundwater abstraction effect on stream flow. So when you want to examine what is the groundwater abstraction will affect the stream flow, is better to use the SWOT and mode flow coupling rather than every single program. Here again, I just show you how one of my colleagues, Ms. Trần Tuyết Mai, has been applied the SWOT and mode flow coupling model for a small catchment in Vietnam. It's called Navi River catchment in Bình Định province in central area of Vietnam. On my left hand side is the map of SWOT model, and on my right hand side the map for the that it's used for the mode flow model. and then it, from different hydraulic response unit, the squad will provide the recharge, and then this recharge will use for mode flow to simulate groundwater system, and then from the simulation of mode flows, provide the stream state or the river level, water level in the river to the SWAT. And then that is they share the information together, and then it can bring size for that is using every single model itself. Here's that the result from her work, and then it's very hard. It's quick one. It's maybe more precise or more exact. But as you can see very clearly here, we have a different result for the simulation from the SWAT itself by the green line and the SWAT mode flow couple model here. That it normally have a small difference, but especially for the peak when the rain is when the rain is a lot of rain come to the system. And also I would like to take two very beautiful quotes from her work. The first one, she said that the squad mode flow model can take advantage from each separate model. So because of they share the result together, and then it can bring more precise into every single model rather than using one model in individual. And the second quote from her work is she said that groundwater head from the couple squad mode flow model seem to be better than though in mode flow model. We saw that we didn't have enough observation data to compare which one is better, but from our understanding, we saw that it's the head for groundwater provided by squad mode flow model. It seemed to be more realistic compared to other factor in the area rather than using only mode flow model. So in conclusion, we clearly very clearly see that it's squad mode flow model. It's a kind of very beautiful model compared to the way that we use a single model in individual. Also, there's other coupling opportunities that people all over the world are trying to working with it. One is called it Westpath and mode flow model, that coupling together that I have used a bit for my PhD, that we try to use mode flow model to simulate how it's our groundwater system look like, but we use the way we use that we use the Westpath to simulate the recharge to groundwater first, and then we bring in the recharge value from the Westpath to the mode flow model, and then we saw that it's kind of more realistic, more confident. We've seen more confident about our result by coupling Westpath and mode flow model rather than only mode flow itself. And the other thing is one of the theme under my supervisors from Flinders University in Australia. It tried to doing now. It try to couple more than two models together. That we try to bring in Westpath, squad, and mode flow together in order to bring more realistic in the simulated results compared to every single model. And also in WIP, you can couple mode flow. It's already decided, and then you just replace the mode in WIP. They consider the groundwater mode flow, the groundwater at a big reservoir, and they don't know what happened with the groundwater system. But if you couple the mode flow with WIP, it will do more with groundwater compared to only using WIP itself. So it's here just another cupboard opportunity that you can cupboard more than one tool, more than one program together to bring more precise to our work. Besides of using the software that already provide, that already have, we also have a sum of estimation. Based on our understanding, we can use sum of estimation that we can kind of making our own model to work with our own problem. Here just a picture showing you how I use for my PhD that we try to build our own model to simulate groundwater abstraction by two different approaches. The first one that we call it's a groundwater balance by approach. We know how much is the water fluctuation from the rainy season to dry season. We know, and then we know how much water is caught by the chain of groundwater storage, and we know how much is the recharge to groundwater was brought into the groundwater system. We know how much water is provide for the river flow, and then we end up with how much water has already abstracted by people for irrigation or domestic use. And another approach that we use non-EU population and survey data. We know how much from non-use, we know how much water we need for irrigation, and from population map, we know how much is water need for the domestic use and also for the livestock farming. And then we do the sum to see how much water has been abstracted, groundwater has been abstracted by the area, and then later we compare to the result together, and it was very beautiful that it's the result from two approach where was very similar to each other. It can provide us more confident about our result. And for this estimation, what we have used, we use one tool it in ArcGIS is called is model builder here that we can we can build our own model by using GIS data. Here just very quickly show you about the tool that I mentioned before, that is about it called is model builder in ArcGIS. So from the input data here, it can go through several process to bring you the last results, the final result that you really want to see. And then it can do it kind of automatic here. The beautiful thing that it can do kind of automatic. Whenever you change something with input data, it will automatically help you to see what is different for the final result. Here just the tool that we can calculate the Troatics index for groundwater system from the different input here based on the equation has been provided, and then we can use the thing is called it's a model builder in ArcGIS that can help us to come up very quickly with the final result. And then you can see how it can be changed if you have very small change with every single input. You can see what different in the final result. Just idea about that we can use a thing that is called a model builder in ArcGIS to solve our own problem that maybe we don't have yet the tool that we can that available for us to use. And think that's very it's all about the thing that I can share with you. Have been used several tools, and I have been working for several years in terms of water resources, but I think it maybe it's not very much. But as I said before, I'm not a lecturer and I'm not good in speaking. So I really hope that we can have a maybe very exciting and fruitful discussion about what I have mentioned before, something that may be not clear or something you want to know more about my talk, I'm very happy to be here, maybe to give you further clarification, further discussion about what I have presented to you through my lecture. Thank you very much for the attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hai. Hello? Test. Thank you very much, Dr. Hai, for the lecture. Now, we would like to have discussion session. Discussion session with all the participants here. Bisa masuk kayaknya kok. So, I'm sure we can be short time. You cannot deliver much today, so maybe very limited. Limited of your knowledge today, but I'm sure this is enough for the students. So today we have not only students, but also some participants from the lecturers from 11 Maret University and lecturers from another universities in Indonesia, which is also concerned with in water management. Mataram University and then Lampung University, some of them Tanjung Pura University, which is hundreds of kilometers from our university. And also we have another guest also. Thank you very much everyone for your participation, for joining this guest lecture. Okay, and also from Samratulangi University. Many participants from another city, from another university in Indonesia. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so I think now it's time for us to discussion, as Dr. Hai said, that it will be how to say beneficial if we can share our knowledge, especially regarding this water management. And participant, if you would like to discuss asking question, or maybe you want to have some comments regarding this guest lecture, please you can turn on your mic, your mic maybe. Sorry. Huh? Okay, I'm very sorry. We also have some visitors, lecturers from Sriwijaya University from Sumatra. Thank you so much. And many of my seniors in Lampung University to joining these lectures. Thank you so much. Okay, anyone would you, if you would like to discuss with our lecturer today, Dr. Hai, you are kindly invited, please. Or
So maybe it is not really about something new that you can share, but maybe we can start firstly by maybe you can, if something is not clear to you throughout my lecture, you can maybe you can ask some question, and then I'm very happy to provide some kind of clarification or maybe a further explanation to you about what I have said during the lecture.
okay, it seems that there is a question in the chat room, but because I have trouble with my connection, I was out for a few seconds.
Thank you,
Sign
moderator.
in
I have
again.
a
I
question.
cannot see anything in the chat room.
Moderator,
Maybe
I have a
please.
question. You can hear
Oh
my
yes,
voice.
Please.
I'm Hairul Basri. I'm Syah Kuala University in Sumatra. Dr.
Hello.
Hai, you have already explained about the SWOT model.
Yeah.
I know this model. And then how do we know if the SWOT model is reasonable or not? How to increase the reliability of the SWOT model? Is this the calibration done to find out the reasonability of the model?
Yeah.
This is the first question. And
Yeah.
then the next question is, can you explain in more detail about how integrated water management is carried out in the upstream, middle, and downstream of the Mekong watershed, especially of the Mekong watershed? That's all, Dr. Hai. Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
And first of all, I could like to thank you to share about something that you already use. What actually, my background is a little bit more focused on groundwater rather than surface water. So maybe I'm not familiar with what compared to what you have done with what. But the idea how we know that it's the results provided by the model is realistic or not. It's very, very hard question. In order to confident more about the result, what we need is we need more observation data. We need more observation. With more observation, we can do more with we call is model calibration, because
Okay, it means that you set up the automatic water level recording in the system.
Sorry.
To calibrate the observed data. What the observed data can you get from the automatic water level recording? Is it right?
I don't think it's water level can be used for SWOT model, because the result from SWOT model can proving you is the discharge. So what you need is the discharge, not the water level. And if we have a more time series of water discharge from different point located within the catchment, you can have more thing to do with the SWOT model. What I have mentioned you in my lecture is that if you can couple SWOT and mode flow model, it can bring more the realistic, because mode flow model can do better with groundwater system rather than only the deep water component that it already included in the SWOT model. So that's why the people now think about coupling more than one model rather than using only one single model, because the coupling can take advantage from each single model, and then it can work and share data together. It kind of in the circle, and it go in the circle, and then it can bring more the realistic. But in terms of the belief, the confidence about the result, it should have more observations in the catchment that can bring you more the confidence. Because talking about the model, there is a very beautiful quote that it's rabbit in, is rabbit out.
Yes.
If you don't know about the system, you just click the model and the model can run and can bring you the result. But if you don't know very much about the system, you can provide it not good the result. Because so before you can run the model, you have to understand about the system before you can work with the model. That's my idea. And the second question, it's a very hard question. It's about the relation between the upstream country and downstream countries in Mekong River, because Mekong River is very, very big river. It runs through really maybe 6 countries. Six country, and very big country upstream in China. They don't want to involve in the Mekong Rivers committee that we can sit together and talk together. Because the upstream they have right, but the way that we try to do it, we try to bring more the dialogue that people can share together, and then we can talk together to understand more about what is real problem that we are currently facing in the downstream. And then maybe it can have some kind of good cooperation, and then we can share the benefit, we can share the difficulties or something like that. but it kind of from
Yeah,
the top
yeah.
level. It's very
Mm.
hard for people to say in the Mekong River
Mm.
committee. What we can done is just only to provide some kind of technical work for the government to talk to each other, but it's not compulsory for every single country to follow the procedure. Just provide the water resources in the whole picture, and then the governments can talk to each other based on what we have done in Mekong River Commission, Mekong River Committee, and then that's the only thing that make it difficult is that it's not compulsory. So every country have their own right to do with the river within their area. So that's the problem. I
Yeah.
understand the question. It's very beautiful question, but it's
Thank
very
you.
hard to
Thank you,
answer.
Deborah. Yeah. Good answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hairul. Thank you so much for the discussion. I think there was a question in the chat room. It's from Dr. Feira. Dr. Feira, could you? Okay, Dr. Feira, if anyone here would like to ask or to discuss in Bahasa Indonesia, it's fine. I will try to translate it into English. Okay. Jadi boleh yang mau tanya dalam bahasa Indonesia, mungkin ingin diskusi, tapi terkendala dengan bahasa, dipersilakan dengan bahasa Indonesia. Nanti saya akan bantu untuk menerjemahkan. Silakan tadi mungkin Bu Sumani, tadi ada yang ingin didiskusikan?
Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Komaria.
Welcome, Bu, please.
Yeah. Good noon, Dr. Hai. I'm Sumani from 11 Maret University.
Hello.
Would you like to explain what kind of artificial recharge for saving water at rural and urban in Vietnam? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sumani.
Thank you for the question. It's very much about the technical. And in terms of recharging, we call it artificial recharge. It means that we try to bring more water into the ground system that we can use later on. So the idea is that normally we have very much water in the rainy season, and then move into the dry season, we have a very few water resources. So in order to bring more water into the groundwater system, we have to have firstly it's understand more about what the geological structure of the area, and then we can think about different way that we can bring groundwater, that we can bring more the groundwater. We can, like in some area that we at the same time we also extract water from groundwater system, and at the same time we also provide some call it injection well, that we can inject more water from rainfall into the system, and then we can use later on. But it's very hard to say in general about the artificial recharge. If you want to do the artificial recharge, you have to understand very much about the local area rather than in general. We can have some basic guideline about what kind of artificial recharge we can apply for different area. Like if we have a kind of it's kind of the soil that can easily to absorb the water, we can do some kind of reservoir that we try to keep water in on the top of the surface, and then it can will release more water into the groundwater. But in some area, if we have a kind of impermeable soil at the top, you have to do some kind of injection well that you have to reach to the groundwater system that can bring in the ground more water into groundwater system. So what I mean is that it's very different from one area to each other. So it's very hard to say what is the good or bad technology to apply in terms of artificial recharge to groundwater. You have to understand more, firstly understand more about the local condition, and then you have to have very large knowledge about what kind of artificial recharge we can use. You can easily to find on the internet it's some kind of guideline, but before I apply to the area, I should understand more about the area, that later on you can select the good way, the best way to do the artificial recharge. But in overall, I must say that it's artificial recharge is not have too much, just for the very small area, because it's very hard to change something with nature. It's very hard, I must say. But in some case, that it kind of saving water for the near future. You cannot save water for long future, for the long period, but you can save water for some period. That means when it move from rainy season to dry season, that we can be ready to have more water at the beginning of dry season, and then later on it can be okay that we can start subtracting the water from the system. Yeah, I hope that I have
Okay.
answered the question, and if you have still have any concern, we can discuss more about that.
Okay, Ms. Sumamani, do you have any feedback from
Okay,
the
thank you.
answer?
Thank
It's
you.
okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, next we have Dr. Dwi Setiawan from Sriwijaya University. Sir, please.
I
Dr.
can
Dwi,
manually.
yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dr. Hai, it's very interesting lecture this morning. Even
Thank
though
you.
my background is not in water science at all. I'm a pedologist.
That's fine.
I'm a pedologist, but I have a big concern whether your modeling or your hydrologic modeling is also applicable for measuring river sedimentation. That's first question. And the second is, now we have more attention on managing water for peatland area in terms of, in bahasa Indonesia is kawasan hidrologi gambut or peatland hydrologic entities. I believe that. I was wondering if the model you said, like SWOT or mud flow, is also applicable to this area for managing water in a peatland, for example. That's my two questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dwi Setiawan.
Thank you for the question.
Questions?
Yeah. Can I say?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I think you have two questions. The first question about the applicable of SWOT model in terms of simulating that iconic sediment transport. Again, I must say that I'm not really familiar with the SWOT model. I just know about the basic idea about SWOT model, but it's not very much. Maybe Mr. Harin Basi or something, maybe you can help me to answer more. But I understand that this SWOT model don't have model to do with the sediment transport, but I'm strongly believe that there is some another model that we can use in terms of water sediment transport. But the good way is again that it's coupling the model that we can use what to simulate the flow. And then if you understand a little bit about another program, it kind of maybe you can couple the SWOT with another program in order to simulate the sediment transport. So I think that's the idea, because it's very hard to say. I don't think that's what can help you to do with the sediment transport, but I believe that there is some program already available for you to do with the sediment transport. The way that I suggest is that you try, if you want to do, you should kind of Googling or something. You find out what the program, the software that we can use for the sediment transport. But I really suggest that you use a squad to provide you the flow rhythms, and then it can apply for another program. I understand. I strongly believe that if you want to deal with the sediment transport, you have to understand about the flow system first before we can apply anything. And the second question, is not clear for me that what is problem that you have in your area. Before you can apply the model, again, before you can apply the model, you have to understand about what you have for the area and what the problem for area and what you try to want to solve. So I mean, you have to understand about the system first. The model is just a tool. Before you use a tool, you have to understand what you really want to do and what you already have, and then you can kind of select the good model to apply. Because the model is again just a little tool. Before you can use a tool, you have to understand about the system first. What you really want to have, what you really want to solve, and then you have to select by yourself. I'm sorry to say that, but it's very hard to say in general that it's a what should be the good software or the best software to apply for the area.
Okay.
But we have to think about what our problem that we want to try to solve, and then we can select it kind of model just only a tool that can help us to easily solve the problem, I think.
Okay. Thank you for the explanation.
Thank you. Yeah. Do you have peatland in Vietnam? I'm sorry. Do you have peatland in your country? Nggak jelas. I'm sorry if you cannot hear me now. Do you have peatland in
Peatland.
Itu kedengaran. Nggak kedengaran.
Dr. Hai, there is peatland in Vietnam. Peatland. Peat.
Can you
P-E.
explain more what is peatland? Because I'm not really familiar with that terms. Maybe you can give another definitions.
Peatland is histosol. Histosol, it means that soil comprised of so much organic matter.
I think we have in some area it's very high organic content in the soil, but maybe it's not too much. But I mean, on the program that I mentioned during my lecture, it's mostly deal with the flow system itself, not sediment transport or organic loss. But in SWOT, I understand that we have the model that can deal with the organic transport in the system. And also I understand that there is a professor in the Flinders University. He provide a program. It's called nutrient niching or something like that. That you can do more with the nutrient niching. And then again, if you can, they also think about how to couple the nutrient niching program that provide by that professor with another program, nice mode flow or SWOT. So if you really, I guess that if you really want to do something with lithium, it's the program is called lithium. Yeah, I remember that is called lithium that you can file. Maybe I can provide you later if you give me your email address. But it's lithium. It's very much deal with the lithium nodes through the soil system. So maybe you can use.
Okay, Okay, Dr. Hai, thank you very much. I think we need to know more about whether it's because Indonesia has a lot of land. So I think we need to know more about this. Okay. Bu Dewi itu yang ngomong dulu. Dewi, yang nanya ke yang lain dulu. Okay. Maybe
Or any comments from the participants, please?
We invite the audience to ask a question for Dr. Hai. Yeah, please, Dr. Redwan Sahab, please.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Mrs. Kokom. Mrs. Kokom, long time for not to meet you.
yes.
Nice to meet from this Zoom meeting.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ridwan. Thank you so much.
I asked to Mr. Hai.
Yes, please.
Yes, my name Ridwan from University of Lampung, Sumatra. I think this is kind of model, integrated model from GIS based couple SWOT and mood flow. And as I ask you, how about you work from two models in one region or goal? How about you run SWOT and mood couple in one term study? Is one question, and other, how about you making a conclusion to make a recommendation for government by SWOT and mood flow models them? Okay, it's my question for Mr. Hai, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ridwan.
Thank you for the question, but I think the question is very much about how we can apply SWOT in order to deal with their construction in some particular area, and then we can bring out the suggestion for our government to deal with. Is that your question?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I believe that is what can deal with them construction. Because one of my colleagues at Flinders University, what he has been doing is try to see it's what difference between pre-dam and post-dam construction in one area of Lao, and what he used squat model. But again, it's model is just only a tool that it can help us to understand more about the system. It can help us to see our system in the whole picture, the bigger picture that we can see, and very hard to answer that how we can give comment to our government, but at a technical technician, we must use a model to provide more realistic result. I mean, we can see the whole picture, and then if the government can understand the whole picture, they can have a more, useful decide what we can do with the system. I mean, because the government is very much about management, and what they lead is they lead comment from the technician, from the technical staff, that if we just explain by our understanding without any supporting tool, it will be very hard for government to understand what will really happen with the system. But with the tool, we can bring more we can bring the easier way for the government to understand what will be the influence for the area. For example, if we build a dam, it's what will be different between post dam and after. Before we build a dam and after we build a dam. So for example, we can use a SWOT model to test is what different for the downstream area before and after we build the dam. So before the build dam, we run the model for the area, and then the result will show you that how much water we have for downstream. And then after we build the dam, we run the SWOT model again, and then you will see what's the difference between pre-dam and post-dam, and then the government can base on that to give maybe more better decision for the whole community. Again, it's also something happened with upstream and also something happened with downstream. So we compare before and between, and then it can be. So again, I say that it's what only the tool that we use. Before we use the tool, we have to understand what we really want to see. What you really want to see in terms of building a dam is what the difference between pre-dam and post-dam periods. And then we use SWOT to simulate maybe it's the flow from in the downstream, what different in terms of flow, the stream discharge downstream area between pre-dam and post-dam periods, and then it can be kind of the result that we can provide that government can very easily to see. That's my idea.
How about my first question? How you work SWOT model and mood flow model? There are integrated in one GIS software like ArcGIS or QuantumGIS?
Yeah. SWOT model and mood flow model was developed by different developers. So I didn't think that they have to care about they was developed separately, and then now some people try to couple together, and then they have to provide another tool to make sure that two model is run. It kind of run in tandem. So we have different tool. We cannot. The SWOT and the mood flow developer didn't think that it should be coupled together, but now people think that they must be coupled together in order to provide more like we're looking the water resources at the whole system, at only one single system, and then we have to deal with different component, different occurrence of water resources, and then some people I can give you some reference data that how you can couple SWOT and mood flow model, but again it's you have to use another tool to couple two programs together. It's not already available in any single program.
Okay, thank you. I think they are in one integrated software based ArcGIS. Thank you, Mr. Hai. Success for you and all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ridwan. Thank you. Okay, so now I think it's a very important for us to modify the when we are using model by understanding the local conditions, especially regarding the hydrology circumstance at our area. Okay, maybe we have another, we still have 10 minutes to go, I think.
That's fine. That's fine for the time. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Any other question or discussion maybe? So, I think I need to ask. Okay, no? Okay, Dr. Hi, maybe I have a question while we are waiting for
Okay.
another
Yeah. Go ahead.
question.
Yeah.
Yes. So in how to say how uh how is your government you know specific plan in water management, especially regarding with groundwater regulation, because I'm sure that now even in Indonesia our biggest problem is um, many farmers, they are using the groundwater with so they are taking out the groundwater very massive, and it's how to say we are really afraid that the storage will be not enough for in the near future. Is Vietnam has specific regulation regarding especially the groundwater regulation?
Yeah. Thank you for the question. It's a very good question because I must say that in it not only in Vietnam or maybe in Indonesia, that previously the people is more focused on surface water because the surface water is something that we think that it's very huge and it already available for every people to use, and very less focus on groundwater. Lucky that I'm working in the field of groundwater. It's a little bit more groundwater compared to surface water. And the thing that the groundwater can be useful that it in some area the people don't have access to surface water because of their location. Maybe it's very far away from the river, and then they don't have a chance to access the surface water. And then in that case, the groundwater green play its role to provide very useful source for people to support the people need in terms of water resources. And we in Vietnam, we know that it's we have a problem in regarding to the over exploitation of groundwater. And then one the good thing that our government has been done is that now we try to provide it kind of map for it called it groundwater exploitation limitation. So it will become the rule that with the help from the technician, we will provide the local government a map about where we that people can extract groundwater and where the people are not allowed to extract groundwater. It depends on the availability. It depends on the quality of the groundwater also. And then we will do some kind of investigation to understand more about the groundwater system for the whole area. And then we will come up with the map saying that in some particular area, the people don't have allowed to extract groundwater. That's the way we preserve the groundwater for the future. That's the way that
Thank you.
Vietnamese government has been done. We have a law that in some area with particular situation, the people will not allowed to extract groundwater.
Thank you. What about the uh, concern of the people in Vietnam? I mean, is there any like extension from the government to make people understand that the groundwater exploration must be limited? Can they accept this?
It's very hard to say because during my lecture, I already make a point that in Vietnam, in some area, particularly for the remote area, the people is more focused on the normal or informal rule. That it's kind of community rule rather than the government policy. So it's hard, but however, the government provide the procedure after we making a map. We will provide we will add I mean the central government will ask the local government to pronounce to inform every local people that in some area you are not allowed to extract the groundwater because of this, because of that. So you are not allowed to extract the groundwater anymore in that particular area. But it had to make sure that the people will not extract the groundwater, because it's some area they still lit the groundwater. So we are not that you are not completely allowed, but you know better to not extract the groundwater in this area because of this, because of that. But maybe for some small area, they can have some kind of discussion with the local government to show that their list is still need the groundwater for their life, so they can have a chance to access the groundwater in that particular case. But we make the general announcement that in some area you are not allowed. It's better not to take the groundwater anymore because of the availability, because of the quality. But I mean, it's kind of two-way discussion. The local people still have the chance to come to meet with the local government and then discuss more about their need, and then maybe we can balance two things together, and then it kind of flexible. But the first one, we try to allow people that this area is not good to take groundwater. We have to keep the groundwater for near future, or we shouldn't use the water in this area because of the pollution, because of this or that, and then the people understand. But if they still need that, they can come to talk with the local government, and then the decision can be changed a little bit later, can be adapted, and then it's kind of the two-way discussion between the needs and the law or restriction or something.
Thank you, Dr. Hai. Maybe one more, the last question maybe from me. If we coupling a model, okay, maybe not only coupling, maybe 2, 3, or 4 models, if we combine, if we make a modification of some models, can we say that as a new model?
No, that I think the X model, because the way we couple 2 or more than 2 model is that the X model have its advantage. The way we try to do it, we take advantage from each other and then making them work together. We don't change anything with X model itself, because X model has already been developed and already tested by many people. The way we couple is that we try to bring more than one model together to take advantage from one, because every model need input. So if you have it's more exact input data, you will have the better result for sure. And then in some case we have to need some kind of assumption. If you run every single model itself, maybe some kind of assumption had to be made before we run the model. But if you take more than one model together, maybe it can take the result from one model can become input for another model. Now Modeflow and SWAT, if the SWAT can provide more confident result in terms of recharge to groundwater, and then the Modeflow will take the recharge from SWAT, not from any kind of estimation. Maybe it's not good enough, but the SWAT will take care about how much water will be recharged to groundwater, and then the Modeflow will take the recharge from SWAT and run its model, and then after that it will provide how many water will flow to the river, and then it's sent to SWAT again, and the SWAT will take care and simulate how much water we will have in the river. So such kind of sharing the data, sharing the advantage together, and then we normally the people make one program to combine more than one model, they don't change anything with any single model.
Okay, thank you so much. We hope in the future we can make a collaboration and we can learn more from you about how to coupling or more, not only couple, maybe 2 or 3, 4 or 4 models.
Yeah, for sure.
Combine.
That,
Yeah.
we call it term, it's that we call it coupling, but it not really mean that only 2 model together. Coupling can be referred to more than 2 model, maybe 3 model, like what we trying to do now in Flinders under the team of my supervisor. We try to couple Westpath, SWOT, and ModeFlow. It means it's 3 models already. Maybe will be very soon can be used together and share the benefit with each other.
Okay, thank you so much. Before we end this interesting guest lecture, is there any comments again or any question again from the participants? If we're not seeing any raising hand, I'm sorry. Please wait. Okay, there is no. Yes, please.
Yeah, maybe not only in this discussion. I mean, you can post my email address, and I'm very happy to receive any further question or discussion relating to what I have said through my lecture. And then everyone are welcome to give me any comment and question through my email later on, not only today.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, there is one question which maybe will ask you more. I will suggest him to directly asking to you by email.
No, that's fine. If you still have more questions, I am happy to be here for a couple more minutes to give more discussion.
Okay, but Mr. Feira, would you like to ask directly, because the question in Bahasa Indonesia is quite long. Dr. Feira, are you still joining? Okay, so maybe because it's quite long and it's still in our language. Okay, Pak Feira, please.
Udah tadi kan, karena saya tadi pergi sholat nggak dengar. Sudah ya Bu Bapak?
Bagaimana Bu Feira?
Sudah dibacakan belum tadi yang di chat?
Belum. Karena terlalu panjang, Pak. Juga beliau untuk praktis yang bioporinya tadi sudah ditanyakan oleh Bu Sumani, termasuk artifisial kan ya.
Thank you.
Kalau artifisial itu memang bisa, cuma kalau biopori kan itu sekedar untuk hello Pak yang dangkal. Kalau yang dalam itu pembuatan seperti sensor khusus dalam yang secara teknik lebih sulit. Intinya itu tadi Pak, sudah ditanyakan sama Bu Sumani sebenarnya yang tadi.
Oh ya, alhamdulillah.
Gitu Pak Feira. Nanti boleh melalui saya email-emailan dengan beliau.
Itu lagi.
Okay, Dr. Feira, thank you. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Hai.
That's fine, my pleasure. I'm very happy to see you on here for my lecture, because it's the first time for me to give a lecture. I'm not good in speaking or explaining. Maybe better to do research, but it's the first time and I try, and I hope that you already enjoy my lecture a bit. And I'm happy to see any further comment or discussion through the email, my email.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, everyone, maybe it's time for us to end this guest lecture. Dr. Dewi, the head of Master Program of Soil Science, do you have anything to say for the last minutes? Please.
Dr. Hai, I would like to say thank you very much for your interesting lecture. You are not lecturer, but your presentation is very good. So I am appreciated, and also once again say thank you for your nice presentation.
Thank you for the very beautiful
Thank you.
compliment. Thank you. And we really hope to see you again, maybe in person, somewhere in Vietnam or maybe in Indonesia.
Yes, we hope. Please.
Jadi enjoy the rest of our weekend.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Hai,
you.
and
Bye-bye.
thank you so much for everyone from all over Indonesia, especially who has attended this lecture. We still can communicate with Dr. Hai by email. If you need anything to be discussed, do not hesitate to contact me. Bapak Ibu semua, terima kasih atas perhatiannya. Jika memang ada yang masih ingin didiskusikan, jangan sungkan untuk menghubungi saya. Nanti akan saya hubungkan dengan Dr. Hai untuk komunikasi lebih lanjut. Dengan demikian, kami dari Prodi S2 Ilmu Tanah UNS mengucapkan terima kasih dan mohon maaf jika ada kesalahan dari kami. Terima kasih banyak untuk partisipasinya dari seluruh Indonesia ya. Tadi ada yang dari Aceh, kemudian dari Sumatera Selatan, Lampung, Samratulangi, kemudian Tanjung Pura dari Mataram, dan tentu saja adik-adik mahasiswa dari UNS yang kami wajibkan juga untuk mengikuti kuliah
Dari
ini.
Unsri loh Bu, ada Pak Tri Setiawan.
Ada dari Pak Palembang Bu saya sampaikan. Pak Haidar Basri, terima kasih banyak. Semua adik-adik mahasiswa yang dari UNS, dari UNS khususnya dan dari manapun. Terima kasih. Dengan demikian, mari kita akhiri guest lecture hari ini dengan membaca hamdalah. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Terima kasih, kami tutup. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan
Waalaikumsalam.
selamat.
Thank you, Dr. Hai.